What's up everyone, it's Paul and LaFon bringing you another Overwatch League recap video. Coming into this weekend, New York have locked themselves into second in the Asia Group power rankings after splitting their last couple games. I expect New York Excel to come in swinging, trying to redeem themselves after a rough 3-2 loss to Shanghai last week.
Meanwhile, the Charge are hoping to be competitive at the very least, as the last time these two squads faced off, the Charge got bodied in a 3-0 sweep.
Baby gets hacked, but manages to blink back just in time.
The Charge, they want to put this map away here and now. New York still fighting tooth and nail, but there's the EMP, hits 4. Eileen puts an end to Libero and probably just put an end to New York as the Charge bring things back here on the Paul. New York in real trouble here. Just hop on Mono and Animo. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Nero, nice stick onto Mono. This is going to be all over. Nero with the cleanup. What a massive EMP from Eileen. Eileen's Sombra is so clean in this Koth round, and that's going to get Guangzhou Charge the map win. Pack, which will really slow it down. Nano boost onto Rio, though, as he takes the initiation into the server room.
Mortality Field ruining a bit of the engage there. Rio can't get away, so nice reaction there from New York. Immortality Field does enough. And New York,
He quickly counted as Libero is just waiting with his team, waiting for the dive to come in.
Mono needs to stay alive. The Bionade was ruining his life as the Charge dive on over. 2 end up falling before Mono's able to recompose himself. And that Bionade from Shu might have... After a good nade, and the Charge now in a very good position. New York pushed into a corner.
Yeah, Shu has this high ground control, and that couldn't be more important there. Now Jonak cut down in the back line, tanks moving forward, but they leave their supports unprotected. Charge with the sound barrier as well to keep the fight going long, and picks starting to flow consistently in their favor now.
I really love the control we saw from Charge there, where they land the Bionade, they get the early pick off on to 2 players as they're trying to support Mono, and then they don't overdive there, Jake. They just secure their advantage and go in when it's undeniable.
Yeah, now these are easy back spawns to pick off. This is another classic part of Watchpoint Gibraltar. You spawn on this position on second point, you are just as good as dead. Just run to the card, force the enemy to pick you off. That's the best you can do, frankly. Now getting high ground control are the Charge. Even Libero falls. Oof, this is some really rough stagger.
And this is a one-time opportunity for the Charge. If they let New York back
This
in...
could be a quick second point for the Charge.
This could be the map here and now. Eileen drops the EMP and Jonak is erased. Animo down. There's no more healing for New York. Both supports gone. And this is where Nero can feast. Takes down Who Are You. A pulse bomb still in the tank. And it goes directly on the Orisa. Not going to be long.
Yeah, it just wants to help burst down this Orisa as quick as possible. Get that cart moving again. It seems that New York were able to contest the cart quickly enough, though. They might get another fight here, though.
Get to the point. Stall in from Who Are You. And Mono eating a lot of damage on the way in. Libero drops the EMP. Not in time to save Mono. And the Charge just shrug it off. Eileen counter-firing. And Jonak dropping the Transcendence on a whim and a prayer here. New York, though, down so many players. They're not able to make the most of it. They just survive. I'm not sure that's going to be enough as the Charge continue to remain in control.
Yeah, as soon as the trance ends, players start dropping like flies. Libero does turn it back around. Self-destruct very passive, and Libero finds another. The amplification matrix with a Sombra. Such an incredible amount of damage, and it's Who Are You back on the Tracer this time. Still trying to hold on to the point, but Charge, a few more picks for them, and that's going to be enough to secure it.
They get point B, and they do it all in one go, Jake, where we're talking about the unique parts of Watchpoint Gibraltar, and that more than anything else is it, where you want to get through point B with momentum. It's one Charge just setting the tone all round long so far. EMP out from Eileen. Mono down as a result. Who Are You tries to equalize. Both teams down 1. And I look to Who Are You going to the back, trying to chase down Winston. Rio, though, just leaps again, struggling to do anything to send the Charge back.
Yeah, so much map control here for the offense. Rio picks off Hotba in his DMAC. Now Rio just trying to make the most of this nano boost. Keep pressuring the back line here. He is naded, but EMP gets nothing there, I believe. EMP hacked out by Eileen, canceling Libero's cast in action. So this fight still live for the Charge, potentially.
But the New York finally starting to get a little bit of breather. Finally out of the...
Baptiste and Ana actually starting to really work its magic here in the long sideline.
The Charge, Rio just gets annihilated. Down and out. Full HP to 0 before you can even blink.
He is hacked, though. That could be potentially big.
Puts Jonak off to the side, at least for a little bit, but Shu caught by Libero. Eileen, in return, both teams down in Ana, but Eileen's getting a little bit more done to the back, sets up Narrow to win the Tracer v Tracer, and this is looking quite good for the Charge. They move on in. New York, though, they
Chara has a sand barrier as well. This interaction is probably going to decide the round right now. Self-destruct is out from Krong.
There it is! Hoppa, the bomb to the back. That was the jolt of life New York needed. It's not over yet, but it gives them a chance with the EMP in from Eileen. The Charge saying, no. We're still fighting this tooth and nail. Rio, Primal Rage, making space on the payload. New York needs to get back over. 0.87 left. There's the EMP from Libero. New York charging out of the spawn. Both teams fighting tooth and nail as overtime continues to tick down. New York swarming over the point. The Charge staying back over, but it's Onabo on the side. Two key pickoffs. And New York about to hold the Charge back.
This Ana and Batiste holding in spawn. They're so difficult to evict from that position. That's probably why they're fundamentally at least playing this composition where they think it's so strong, is that final spawn door hold is so deadly. Able to get tons of value on the amp matrix despite having not really any DPS that make use of it, nor tanks. When you do finally commit all your cooldowns at once. Great work by Nixel offering up mono on a platter, but Charge, they don't want to go for the Orisa. They might just get the kill anyway though.
Shu has a massive bio nade. Mono ends up getting focused down as a result because the rest of his team had the back out. And we saw this the last time around, last round for Shu. Bio nade game for Ana on point.
Answer to the dive comp. I think the defensive Echo here is going to have a huge edge if you take the mirror match. Not only having the Mercy pocket, but also defending. But there's Libero with a quick pickoff. And now no Sombra. The dive is going to be much neutered here from the defense.
You and Libero in a lot of danger as a result. Still able to back off and heal, but that buys time for the Charge to be up to a full 6. Who are you? Finds Rio. New York all over the point. The Charge forced back, and the Charge are not able to contest. And now we look to see how point B is set up, and this is bad. This could result in quite a stagger.
Yeah, I think this comp is really, really strong here coming out from the New York Excelsior. The McCree
EMP is out, only hits 2. Libero and Mono able to shrug a lot of it off, courtesy of Jonak. Up the Transcendence in time. And Rio just gets focused down. The Charge in a lot of trouble here. Chara already down. New York looking formidable, and nothing the Charge is doing right now is working.
Hotba getting a ton of value with the whole hog, baiting a ton of cooldowns onto him, and that's a quick second point and even faster time than Charge ran.
Up to the back.
Primal is committed though, and they're diving in, but Hoppa finds the pick onto Eileen. Crawling trades to Libero though. This is favoring the defenders with a quick response.
Yeah, the defenders here have...
or a Bionade. Either of those abilities is just really deadly against Roadhog. And a 5-man EMP from Eileen!
And Jonak, he tried to transcend the deal with it, but he was a little bit too far away. Narrow ends up getting 2, and... oh, man. What execution coming in from the Charge. And, I mean, decent effort by Jonak, but too little, too late.
But the trance might end up being worth it as it's kept the DPS of New York alive, and they're still fighting. Nano onto Nero, trying to take down the backline, but even Nero is pushed out with the Nano boost, and he's killed by Jonak. Nano doesn't help you there.
I think the problem here for... oh, who are you? Gets Krong. New York, they got delayed for a bit in the corner after losing 2, but they fight their alive in on the push. Now Libero looking for the Deadeye. They'll lock down the spawns. Skulls popping on up, finds Chara, and New York finish it out right through point C. It's 1-1. We got ourselves an easy engage here. Now New York, they're in so much trouble. New York desperately needs anything to equalize this here pick-wise. So they're keeping the Discord Orb on Jonak, who gets caught. You usually don't keep it on Batiste that long, but they give Jonak the respect he deserves and the trip back to spawn. Eileen on the follow-through, and the Charge just dominate point A.
I'd expect to see Libero as well as Anima potentially make their Sigma and May through the flank while this main group rushes through the choke with the help of an amp matrix.
Mortality field down. Rio finds better mono. The Charge healthy, but until they're not, Libero finds Shu. The rest of the Charge just well calculated throughout. New York kind of got stuck in the corner, ate a lot of damage, and the Charge make it look pretty simple.
And who are you even commits his Blizzard there, and they don't win the fight off the back of it. That was such an efficient fight for the Charge. Major
New York unable to find an early pickoff. Narrow staying alive. Shu still holding on to the Transcendent. Charge just waiting and waiting, and they pick off mono. They haven't had to invest too much for it, just the Blizzard here so far, and it's efficiency coming out from the Charge.
Yeah, Great work by Eileen, positioning really defensively there. He knows that New York has to rush him and take him out. He knows that as McCree in this circumstance, he's the most vulnerable hero in his team. It would be Zenyatta, but of course Zenyatta has...
About to fade. Now the charge going through here, dropping the Amp Matrix. Again, looking for heavy poke pressure. Who are you? Falls! Gets caught by the hard end of that. And now the charge moving forward. New York just bleeding out players. They're not going to be able to delay. That's a quick time for Kings Row.
Charge showing that they came into play as well on this Orisa Sigma comp. Very, very clean attack from them. Huge time bacon blade.
Well, no charge, but he still has his life. The small victories here for Genji. Mono under quite a bit of pressure. Who are you in danger? Libero gets taken out, so now it really... I was going to say all about who are you, but then he just gets sniped down by Shu. And I got news for you, Jake. I do think the Genji's probably going to be swapped out. I don't think they're staying on it.
I mean, it's rough because your comp is pretty much all in. Like, I don't think you can get up. No, I mean, it's pretty bad here. Who are you is getting completely shut down. Nice initiation by Libero, though. Does catch Krong, but the Mortality Field is just perfect from Chara. Gets Krong back to full HP, and once again, the charge is stabilizing. Who are you? 50% to Dragon Blade. He's on track for one blade in 4 minutes.
He's stuck here in the back. Is he going to be able to get away? Looking. The maze in hot pursuit. Oh! Tragic stagger.
This is really rough because it's so awkward for Jonak.
Like, in through the building. Mono again under heavy pressure from the Discord. Is Mono going to get away this time? Nothing else. He's forced to find. No, Eileen finishes him off. In New York again, struggling here on the dive. And Jake, it's times like these that I thank God I'm not a telepath, because I would be on the floor from the anguish of New York.
Which is the Nano Blade, and they've got the rest of their ults available to support it. Minefield does come in.
Oh, no.
Nano Blade as well.
He gets walled. Still trying the break on through. He gets the barrier. He's going all the way in. Nothing stopping Who Are You in the end. It took just about every support ult in existence, but it works out. Who Are You is able to break on through, and New York, they do get through point A.
He doesn't in the end, and that's off the back of Shu dying late at the end of the last fight, off the back of Who Are You just picking him off.
Let's not forget, Charge speed ran this around to go. New York is still very much in the hole time-wise. Mono taken down
Mono.
Again. I feel bad for Mono at this point.
Yeah, what can he
He's
do?
Sacrificial lamb.
Oh, jeez. They knew Libero was coming there a mile away. Eileen saw that coming, no problem. Even Who Are You getting chased down, chopped apart, only 43% to the next blade. This comp, man, I don't agree at all. Self-destruct, who's got to be an absolute hero, and he's just going to send it.
Oh, self-destruct, deals the Immortality Field, nothing else. Eileen, though, over and in, deals with Animo. Transcendent still on him. New York, though, able to bait back a bit. Eileen overextends. In New York, finally getting a little bit of traction here. Comp Swamp working wonders.
Yeah, nice bomb by Hotba, sent to the back line, forces Rio to just basically run it down mid to avoid dying to the bomb, but that cost him his life as well, so damned if you do.
Damage. So that's a mini win there for New York. And now they invest the Nano. Onto Hotba, over the top. Mono, though, is already down. So Mono wasn't getting protected during that. The Blizzard out from the charge, and they're rushing down New York!
New York all caught at the edge of the Blizzard, freezes forward.
The barrier coming out of desperation. Who Are You's Blizzard is Eden, just to add insult to injury. The bomb over the top, that's going to seal it. The charge, defend on Kings Row. It'll be up 2-1 over New York. In really a dominant fashion, but a lot of New York's pain, Jake, I feel like it was self-inflicted here.
Definitely. I can't endorse the Genji Doom. It's fun. It's wacky.
Lux out into the fight, looking for Hoppa. Hoppa's getting real low. Hoppa manages to stay alive, but here's Eileen. Deadeye out. New York getting forced back, and Liberal gets caught. And now the charge in even better position. New York down 1. The Blizzard out from Narrow. It's zoning them all out. The Charge are in a fantastic spot.
It's only Animo to delay point. Eileen picks off Jonak. Krong finds Animo, and now Libero on the Torb switches to the Doom, but this is too late. Libero's not making it to point.
All right, Jake, I'm going to have to ask you, the B psychologist, here for a moment. I need your honest opinion for how well New York usually plays and how mystified they looked on that defense. And the Charge, they hold further back, unlike New York on the last defense. Though New York doing a really good job of fighting their way through, taking the high ground. They get Rio down, and Libero finds room to work with. So New York, they get through point A nearly as quickly as the Charge did. And New York, they've now set themselves up for a quick point B take. And I don't know, Jake, this New York dropped the wall a little bit early. They go for the swap. They decide to run it down mid. New York moving forward, and okay, Mono's done. Done immediately. And Rio there on the follow through, and New York not quite going to get the momentum that the Charge did.
Yeah, Diva getting a lot of value in this situation. I still hope Krong switches over to the Sigma, like even with the Moira. Okay, now switch over to the Batiste. I really hope Krong switches to the Sigma, but obviously
That's
I want
the beat. Looking for that all-important first kill. The bomb is thrown out. New York adeptly dances around it. And now Chara's out of the fight. New York, though, the freeze in from the Charge. Nero makes things frosty. And that is enough to turn the fight. A well-placed Blizzard, all they needed.
great patience from Nero. That fight looked a little bit rough right at the start, but Nero could have committed his ult a lot earlier than that. He chose to be patient. He chose to wait, let some of the cool
Good job of delaying, giving themselves max opportunity to get back on the point. And New York has to be careful not to let this one slip away.
Yeah, Charge, they're definitely still fighting. Krong uses his bomb just to remech. Eileen on the Tracer picks off a second, and spawn advantage is really going to play a huge part here. Nero's just wasting as much time as possible.
Ooh, this is getting ugly for New York. They've lost too many here. The Charge on the verge of flipping this one around. The New York, they drop the Supercharger. They're more back in control. They've stabilized after losing a few players. The Charge going to be able to get back out again. It's on the wire. Krong gives up his life. New York, just about there. Good stabilization. Char out of the fight. And the Charge now, how much longer can they delay?
Just wasting time now for sure. This is pretty much unwinnable with the stack New York has on point. New York, nice recovery there. Dropped a couple players. Things were looking potentially
Bit danger. The flashbang hits 3. But the fall through not there. New York still stay alive. The immortality field so well timed from Jonak, keeping New York alive for a moment. But even with the immortality field, it's still not enough. The Charge had a great engage.
Yeah, this time the Charge did not give up that key ground. Last time the Charge dropped off the high ground with a few players and they weren't able to retake. But this time they fall back just enough to let New York out and they retake.
New York the high ground. But the Charge are able to rotate out. The Amp Matrix is done. Deadeye out here from Eileen. Catches Libero as Shu gets the rest. Coalescence right down the gut.
And this should be the full hold here from the Charge. So significant. Set themselves up to close out the series.
That should be it. That is a fearsome hold coming out from the Charge. So let's review New York's situation right now. They need to have a greater hold than the normal time allotted for point A. And that doesn't win them the map. That just gives them a draw. The New York Excelsior are in real danger.
This is like a 1 in 100 hold for New York Excelsior. This is so incredibly difficult to do. Charge, this game is in the palm of...
To stay up to date with all things Overwatch League, make sure to check out one of our other recap videos.